What's up guys, Justin here of Tech, and you may or may not have heard of the brand Infinix yet, but this Shenzhen-based company has been in the smartphone game for a while now. And they sure are stepping up when it comes to producing affordable smartphones, especially with this new Infinix 08. For 12,990 pesos, it offers a 6.85-inch display with a 90Hz refresh rate, a MediaTek G90T processor, 8GB of RAM, 128GB of internal storage, quad rear cameras, and a 4,500 mAh battery with 33 watts wired fast charging. It's pretty intriguing, so today we'll finally share with you guys our full review. Starting with design, it's hard not to miss that diamond-shaped protruding rear camera module that does remind me of the one on the Vivo S1 Pro. But this one definitely looks bigger and bolder. Complementing that is this polycarbonate glossy rear panel with a V-shaped design. It has some subtle gleaming light effect when moved towards some light, which is a nice touch. The unit we have is in the black diamond color, and there's also a silver diamond available. Located on the right are your volume keys and the power button that doubles as a side-mounted fingerprint scanner. They're all tactile, and the power button is placed nicely near the middle part, so you won't always have to adjust your finger to click it. Meanwhile, on the left is the SIM tray with slots for 2 nano SIM cards and 1 micro SD card that's expandable up to 256GB. There's nothing on top, but the bottom part is packed with the loudspeaker, USB Type-C port, primary microphone, and the headphone jack. Overall, its design is very stylish and sleek that it doesn't feel cheap at all. However, it's prone to fingerprint smudges, so better use that free jelly case on. There's quite a heft when holding it, but the plastic body makes it feel a bit lighter. Moving on to display, the 08 has a large 6.85-inch IPS LCD screen with a resolution of 2460 by 1080 pixels and a pixel density of 392 pixels per inch. It also has a layer of Gorilla Glass 3 for protection. Like most smartphones today, we get relatively slim bezels and a slightly thicker chin. You can find its dual front cameras on the upper left in a pill-shaped black bar, which isn't distracting at all for us. This display features a 90Hz refresh rate option and a 180Hz touch sampling rate, which is always nice to have. It might not be as good as in an AMOLED screen, but it still offers a noticeable smoother experience. Its brightness level is pretty good too. You can still see the screen well at max brightness. As for audio, similar to other Infinix smartphones, it's backed with DTS sound for a better audio experience, so you can customize the equalizer if you like. Its single down-firing loudspeaker produces decent sound that focuses more on the vocals. Sadly, it cannot get loud enough, but I like that it doesn't sound distorted at max volume. Talk about software, Infinix has their own skin called XOS Dolphin that's based on Android 10, and the 08 packs the 7th version, which isn't really far looking from the XOS 6. Honestly, there's a lot of things going on. It's bombarded with bloatware and some pre-installed apps that you most likely won't use, but you can uninstall the majority of them anyway. Out of the 128GB of internal storage, we get a usable 117GB out of the box. Okay, so from the get-go, it has an app drawer option that can't be removed. But there are tons of themes that you can download from third-party apps or from Infinix's own X-Theme app. For navigation, you can use the usual buttons or with gestures if you prefer. There are some quirky customization features on board that you can play around, such as Smart Assistant, Dark Mode, Digital Wellbeing, Social Turbo, Game Mode, and there's also the freezer that allows you to freeze apps from working or consuming in the background to keep your device optimized. I really didn't use it that much since we get an ample amount of RAM. But all in all, for software, if you're new to Infinix's XOS skin, it will really take some getting used to. Performance-wise, the Infinix 08 is equipped with a MediaTek Helio G90T processor paired with a Mali G76MC4 GPU and 8GB of RAM. With this configuration, this phone can handle continuous multitasking and even long hours of gaming. We rarely experience some stutters, and you can take advantage of its game mode for a boosted gaming encounter. Notably, it has a liquid cooling system, so we didn't experience much heating when doing heavy tasks. If you'd like to see the benchmark scores, we'll flash them now. For biometrics and security, you can unlock the device via face unlock and the side-mounted fingerprint scanner. The fingerprint scanner responds quickly, while the face unlock works well too, with some struggle under low-light scenarios. Quickly for connectivity, the 08 comes with Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 5.0, GPS, 4G LTE, and FM radio. It offers a sizable 4,500 mAh battery with 33 watts fast charging support. We ran it through PCMark's battery test while the 90Hz is turned on, and it got a total of 14 hours and 18 minutes. Meanwhile, in our standard video loop test, wherein we loop a 1080p movie at 50% brightness and volume, with airplane mode turned on and earphones plugged in, the 08 yielded a complete 30 hours and 25 minutes, which is really impressive. Now surely, with light to moderate day-to-day tasks, it should last you a whole day. But if you want to save more battery life, there's a power boost option in the settings that's similar to a low power mode. So automatically, it will disable unnecessary actions and gestures, optimize the volume, enable dark mode, and even switch to a lower 60Hz refresh rate to save battery life. For charging, with a 33 watts fast charger, you can fully charge the phone within an hour and 30 minutes, and sometimes even less. Now let's move on to one of its highlight features, the cameras. On that diamond-shaped module is a quad-cam setup composed of a 64-megapixel main sensor, an 8-megapixel for ultra-wide, a 2-megapixel lens, and another 2-megapixel lens for depth sensing. Now at the very bottom circle sits an LED flash. Meanwhile, for selfies, Infinix managed to place a high 48-megapixel main camera together with an 8-megapixel ultra-wide. The camera app is a lot similar to most Android smartphones today, so getting around shouldn't be a hassle. It has additional nifty features such as short video, beauty mode, bokeh, super night, built-in filters, Google Lens, and you can use the fingerprint sensor as a quick shutter button. Quality-wise, shots taken with the rear camera often look well-detailed and perceive good colors under good lighting conditions, although sometimes you might want to take more shots as they can be overexposed. Its standard mode gives a nice depth effect, giving some professional-looking photos. And generally, there's not much difference when you use the 64-megapixel lens, but of course you can expect higher quality if you ever need it. You can zoom in up to 10 times, and even so, it can still show good undistorted details. And as for wide shots, the colors don't always match up as in standard mode, but I like that it doesn't give much of a fisheye effect. Shooting under low-light conditions with the 08 isn't really recommendable since we often get grainy outputs, but it should suffice. On the other hand, using the super night mode can make night shots look brighter and more detailed. Plus, it doesn't take too long to take a shot compared to other smartphones. When it comes to selfies, this is the first time that I'm using a 48-megapixel front shooter, and I must say that this is nice to have if you plan on cropping or zooming your selfies a lot. To maximize this feature, you need to make sure that you have a steady shot since it can easily look blurry. We'd like to note that you get almost the same quality either way if you don't use the 48-megapixel lens. Under good lighting conditions, you get sharp details but still gives a soft effect on skin tones. It falls more on cooler tones, and they're pretty good for social media posts. Its bokeh mode gives a nice subject background separation too, with some tiny details mishaps if you're going to pixel peep. As for videos, you can shoot up to 4K at 30 frames per second, but there's no visible stabilization on board. Nonetheless, you can turn on the ultra steady shot mode for less shaky videos, but it can only handle up to 1080p at 30 frames per second. So, let's finally talk about price. The Infinix 08 comes with an official tag of 12,990 pesos, which is really attractive for what it offers. Its performance should be enough for your day-to-day use even with some casual gaming. The cameras are very good, and it can really produce high-quality photos. Basically, I have no complaints with the battery since it's equipped with 33 watts fast charging and liquid cooling tech. But something I'm not a fan of is the software. Of course, it offers Google mobile services, but you'd have to deal with the excessive ads and bloatware. And if you think you can deal with that, then go ahead and give this phone a chance. Oh, and if you're interested, make sure to catch its exclusive price of 11,990 pesos on November 11 at Lazada. And that's it for this review. How about you guys? What do you think of this Infinix 08? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to our channel for more content, hit that bell icon so you don't miss any future uploads, and be sure to visit gigatech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. Once again, this is Justin, and don't forget to wash your hands and stay at home.